It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. And I'm setting it up. Okay. Let's see. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. So if you're hopping on, say hey, ignore the mess in my background. So like our office is also first playroom. I'm going to push start over here on Instagram and then we'll start. It's been literally, I don't even remember the last time I went live, to be honest. It's been a long time. It's been way overdue. If you are hopping in, say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're catching replay, hashtag replay. It says keyframe rate too low. I don't even know what that means. I'm not a techie person, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it's on my internet. We have like 400 megs and who knows. Okay, so yeah, so it's been a long time since I've done a live. Things have obviously been chaotic. We have 2 kids, so life has been a lot of fun adjusting. It's been interesting for sure. Harper's like the best big sister ever, and I couldn't even be more grateful. So I was trying to get both kids down to bed before I even hopped on here, and of course, like, I'm fucking breaking out. So what you get is what you see. This is like after dinner, end of day, post parenting all day. Tommy's upstairs putting Harper to bed. Emmett's already asleep. So I posted yesterday and today. I posted a couple question box in my stories. I posted them on Instagram and I cross-post to Facebook, but a lot of times on Facebook you can't like interact with like little question boxes and shit. So if you have questions, pop them in the actual like comments and I will answer those as they pop in. Sometimes Facebook comments are weird. Yes, I still drink ketones. That was one question. I probably will never not drink ketones because I'm trying to not wake the baby up. He's in like little thing behind me. I will always drink ketones because they are literally my brain fuel, and as a parent, they are my survival. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at Instagram. You see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at Facebook. You know the drill. I eventually like to figure out how to do this from like YouTube and just like cross post to multiple things. I have a Pivo. I have to kind of tinker with it so that I can like go live on one thing so that I'm like making eye contact with one camera. Let me know if my sound is okay. I got a new microphone, so we'll see, because I want to tinker with that a little bit for YouTube videos and for podcasting. And we're going to just jump right into it, so that way people aren't stuck watching forever and waiting for me to just stop yapping. The first question I saw, I put them in a note on my phone so I could see, which they come up on my computer. I'm going to actually just move my screen over on Facebook, so then I'm actually looking in the general same direction for both cameras. Okay. And man, every time I see this little like, you can't see it on Instagram, but on Facebook you can. Harper has like this giant toy Maximus from Rapunzel, the horse, and every time I fucking walk by that thing, I think it's the dog out of my peripheral. Messes me up every time. Okay, so this is a funny question that I thought was interesting because I honestly haven't thought about this in forever. And somebody asked, so what did I want to be when I was little? And for me, I wanted to be a million things. Like, I was always a dreamer kid, and I think it's actually really funny, and I actually love that somebody asked this too, because I was like a dreamer. I always dreamed of owning my own business, and then I wanted to sing and I wanted to dance, and I was like involved with like drama and all that's like drama club, and I loved that stuff. But then as I got older, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a lawyer. Like, I'm good at arguing. I love reading. Not that I think that I would enjoy reading a lot of like legal jargon type books. And then I was like, no, you know what? I want to be a plastic surgeon. I want to be able to do pro bono for like burn victims. Like, that's like where I was at. So actually my degree, fun fact, when I went to Clarkson University was biology, minor in psychology with a concentration in pre-medicine. So I am a super science geek, and I probably always will be. It's my jam. Later on, I kind of flip-flopped, and I ended up going psych bio instead. And then after that, I interned and did my thesis on substance abuse, and I realized that it was a really rewarding career, but it was also very, very much so you take everything home with you kind of career, and that is mentally, emotionally exhausting. I didn't have a lot of I didn't have a lot to give at the end of the day. I was like very much like gonna pour from an empty cup. And then I worked with kids for a while, and then I was like, child psychology is awesome. But then I was like, I'm literally gonna want to adopt every single person. It was kind of the same thing with like the thought of like social work. I was like, if I do that, then I'm going to literally bring home every like child that is not in a good situation. My degree is psych, actually. So like I flip-flopped. So instead of it being like bio then psych, I ended up flipping them. So it's psych and bio. But bio was like my minor. I think because of like organic chemistry, if I would have finished out those extra couple credits, I would have had a double degree, like a dual degree. But I was like 2 credits short, and organic chemistry was like fucking up my life. So I decided not to. But yeah, so psych was my thing. I grew up with my grandma, who is all sorts of chaos, but she had a lot of mental health issues, and that's kind of what made me go into it. Like I kind of wanted to know what made her tick. So, but then I kind of was like, I don't want to go get my master's, I don't want to get my doctorate. But then when I kind of stumbled across coaching, which I stumbled across it about 2015 was the first time I even heard of what a life coach was, and I was like, oh, that seems like a cool job. And then I like put it on the back burner, and I did like my own thing. And it's funny how like things come up, but like the universe pulls you in a different direction at a different time. So that's like how we ended up here. And then I kind of revisited it again because like I've always been really that passionate person that like wants to help people, I was always the friend that like gave people advice, that people called to listen when they were going through something, and I'm still very much that person. But I want to do it on a larger scale, and I wanted to do it in a way that helped women specifically. Hi, Jen. Help women specifically like gain confidence. And we tend to really make ourselves small. We tend to put ourselves on the back burners for other. We tend to pour from an empty cup. And I really want to encourage women to step into their power, delve into building that confidence, knowing that you're so much more powerful and you're so much more worthy than you think you are. You are worthy just from the first breath that you took. You are. And that there is no dream that is too big. And a lot of people will be like, oh, your dreams are unrealistic. But your dreams can only be built to the level that you believe in them. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm really fucking excited. All right, so that's my whole like little life story basically. So the next question was, how do you deal with something negative? So it really depends on what it is. For me, I've had a lot of negativity in my life in the past, and for me, I'm that person that's like, this shit made me stronger. I tend to really roll with the life happens for you, not to you. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that we are not given more than we can handle. Even at that time, if we feel like things are hopeless or they are impossible or things couldn't get worse, they really could. Like, everybody goes through shit in their lives. Everybody's stuff is like different. Somebody's problems aren't bigger than your problems and vice versa. They may be different problems, but they don't nullify like what you're going through. And something I heard from Brian Underwood was, you know, you're either, when you're interacting with someone, they've either gone through shit, about to go through shit, or just coming out of being in the middle of shit. And it's so true, because you have no idea what that person is. So for me, whenever I'm going through something negative, I really look to the future, and I'm thinking, things are getting better. Like, this is just a blip on the radar. This is just a tiny piece of my story, a tiny piece of what has happened in my life. And I know that I will figure things out, and things will happen the way that they're supposed to, and they are unfolding for me perfectly. And whatever is happening to me in this moment was a lesson that I needed to learn, to somehow that I could turn that around and turn it into something that could benefit somebody else, or teach somebody else, or something I could learn and grow from and evolve for myself. So really just kind of shifting my perspective into a place of, man, this fucking sucks, to a place of gratitude. That does not, however, mean to shove down those feelings and not ever feel those feelings. You have to feel those feelings. You are human. You cannot sit there and plaster a smile on your face and say that you're positive 100% of the time, because that shit's not real life. It's not. So yeah, that's that. Let's see the next question. How do you feel if people unfollow or unsubscribe from you? Does it bother you personally? I'm having a hard time with that. No, it doesn't honestly bother me. I know that, and I mean, everybody's different, but for my personal opinion, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I never will be everybody's cup of tea. And I truly believe that if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So if my content or my message doesn't resonate with someone and they're unfollowing me, then I'm not serving that person anyway. They're not in a place where they're ready to hear what I have to say, or they're just not, it's just not their thing. And that's okay. I don't expect everybody to like me. That's just, again, unrealistic. Do I want to help as many women and men and however many people as possible? Yes, I absolutely do. But I also won't shrink myself to make somebody else comfortable, if that makes sense. So if people unfollow me, that's up to them. If they choose to follow me back later, that's, again, up to them. It's not going to ruin my day. I don't really get caught up in the whole metrics thing. I don't really look at likes. I don't really look at a lot of that stuff because it really puts you in that, like, I don't know, like, I'm ADHD. So for me, that really, like, throws off my thought process and can really distract me from the big picture of things. So I try not to pay attention to those metrics as much. I do check, like, my insights like anybody else who's building on social media, but I don't really get hot or cold. I'm kind of like 70 and sunny about the whole, like, people who either unsubscribe from my, like, newsletter email list or unfollow me on Facebook, because then they're just not my tribe. They're not my people, and that's okay. Okay. Why did you pick mindset and manifesting? Okay. A little bit of story time. So obviously I was in network marketing and been in network marketing since 2014. And with my first company, I had heard of doing personal development. And I honestly thought personal development was a bunch of bullshit at the time. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not reading the books. I'm not doing the journaling. It's not for me. It's for other people, but not me. And I fucking wish that I would have never said those things, because I probably would have started my journey a lot sooner. Just saying. And I think, like, for me, it was when I came into Prove It as my... That's the baby. Hold that thought. He's just wiggling. He's literally in, like, a little, like, the Fisher Price, like, little dome thing behind me. So for me, when I joined Prove It, the team that I joined and my mentor, they're just the most incredible people I have ever met in my life. And I can honestly credit so much of what I learned and who I am now to them, because I wouldn't have grown. I wouldn't be the person that I am now. Learning more about mindset and shifting who I was and going to events and hearing from the most incredible speakers and listening to what people have overcome and how their mindset played a role in that. 1 second. Okay. Sorry. So for me, like, if I wouldn't have found Prove It and I wouldn't have had those trainings and I wouldn't have met those people in my life, I just never ever would be in the position that I am now. I wouldn't have had the growth. I would still be angry. I would still be bitter. I still would be unhealed, like my inner, like, generational traumas and things. Like, I wouldn't be the person I am now. And then when I started learning about manifesting, it was a really big deal to me, because I was like, there's no way that this shit works. And then I started doing the journaling and all the things that I, like, mocked years before. And things started showing up for me. They started happening, and things that I would, like, journal about would literally happen. And, like, I would have, like, deja vu all the time, but then it would, like, it would be really happening. And I started setting more intentions and starting doing things. And for me, it was, like, little things at first, like random things. And then when we started going through our secondary infertility journey with Emmett, I really was in a place of, like, manifesting everything else except that. And I had this, like, block in my head that because I had PCOS and I had Hashimoto's and all these things, that, like, it just wasn't going to happen for me. And So I didn't actually, like, I was almost repelling it with my thoughts, and I couldn't trust my body, and I wasn't worthy, and we had 2 losses, and da-da-da-da. But then the month that I started doing fertility affirmations, and the month that I sought more answers, and then I took more inspired action, and the more that I started trusting myself and trusting my body and feeling the feelings of it already being mine, right then and there, we ended up conceiving Emmett that month. And literally 2 years before that, in my journal, I had literally written, like, that I was pregnant with him, that he was a boy, that his name was Emmett, that he was born, I think it was like fall or winter, and it was like the biggest fucking like goosebump moment of my life. Like, yes, I can manifest money and I can manifest other things in my life, but to manifest my son was beyond the most powerful thing I've ever experienced in my entire life, especially after trying for over a year. So that's why. And I have been passionate about mindset and confidence and all those things for a really long time, over the past few years. And I was always like decently confident through college, and that's really when I started coming into myself and not caring so much what people thought about me. So for me, I knew that that's like where my heart was being tugged, and that's why I decided on mindset and manifestation. Next question: how to have good thoughts about money when it's not there? So there's a couple things to this, and the course I'm actually working on developing right now, which I'm hoping to have done and launched in about 60 days. It's going to teach you literally how to do this. It will literally help you with money blocks. It'll help you with scarcity mindset. It'll help you with lack. It'll help you with a comparison game, how to view people with money differently. For me, I used to all the time have that negative mindset about money. And I'll be honest, like, if you know my story, like, we had bankruptcy, we had cars repoed, we had foreclosure papers, we had a lot of like lots of crazy shit when it came to finances. And honestly, finances were the hardest part of manifesting for me to get my mind around, because I had so many blocks, because I had so much like evidence stack up to what my limiting beliefs were surrounding money. And it took me a little while to be able to shift that and change it. I started like with reflecting on all like the memories and all the thoughts I specifically had around money. And then looking at those thoughts and being like, well, is that true? Or is that just some shit I'm telling myself? And are people with money really douchebags? Because that's like something you hear all the time. So you're like, oh, so they must be like rich, snobbish assholes, right? No. People with money are not all rich, snobbish assholes. Like, you can be, I say this all the time, and like, sorry if your kids are around, I'm an unfiltered human. That's just who I am. Like, you can be a rich douchebag and you can be a poor douchebag. It does not matter how much money you have. It's who you are in your core. And money exposes people. It doesn't change people. So if you are already a good person, money's going to exemplify that. If you are already a shitty person with shitty morals, money's going to also exemplify that. So for me, it was starting to think, well, this person is no better than me. I can have what they have. This person did that. That's amazing. They're awesome. That means that I can do it. That means it's possible for me. Starting to really look at all of those things that you're specifically telling yourself. Look at each and every single individual one and kind of flip it on its head. Challenge it and ask yourself, is that actually the truth? Or is this just some shit that I heard my parents say or I experienced and it made me feel or think this way? Because 9 times out of 10, it's something that was learned from someone in your past, future, present, whatever. And those things can be shifted and they can be changed. And the more you think that you don't have, and the more you think of what you don't have, and the more you think of what you don't want, you're literally attracting that shit to you. You're attracting more of what you don't want. Having a scarcity mindset is going to attract more bills and unexpected expenses. It's also going to have you stay in this like place of not having enough because you feel like there's not enough for everyone, when in reality, like, the resources of the universe are unlimited. God, angels, universe, divine, whatever you believe in, like, there's abundance everywhere in every aspect of your life. So it really starts with just like those small shifts and being willing to look at things a little bit differently. Where to get started, somebody said. Where to get started with what? That's my question back to you. So if you're watching, let me know, because I don't know exactly what you're talking about. If you're talking about where you're getting started on your mindset journey, I recommend picking up the Unlimited Journal off Amazon. It's amazing. It's really good. It kind of taps into a little bit of everything, and it's a good reflector. Like, I do it, it's like a 40-day journal. I did it every day in the morning. I've done it multiple times. That's really a good place to start with a journal. Journaling, I journal every single day. It's literally like I do a brain dump in the morning, and then I meditate, and then I read a chapter of like a fun book too. So, and then I usually take like a hot shower, and then I like recently have started like turning it to really, really fucking cold at the end. It kind of like wakes me up. And I actually really love the endorphins and the way that I feel after. And it was something that I saw that from somebody that I follow that I look up to a lot. I have to think about it. So yeah, if that's what you're talking about for like your mindset journey and getting started with that, I would start with like the Unlimited Journal, or just like the 5-minute journal. It's like gratitude, things like that. I practice gratitude every single morning. I wake up, before my feet touch that floor, I think of 3 to 5 things that I am thankful for. And if I am in a shitty mood, I don't care if that thing is as much as the fucking sky is blue and it looks pretty. Like, whatever it is, there's so much to be grateful for. When you get a bill in the mail, like the electric bill, for example. Okay, you're getting the bill. So normally the first thing it says, ugh, my mail is always bills. This sucks. Start shifting that. Oh, it's a bill. I'm thankful because I have the money to pay for this, and I'm thankful because this bill gives me electricity, or this bill gives me heat. Start viewing your shit differently. I promise you it will change your life. Okay, how do you stay positive when you're touched out as a mom? Hands down, out of everything, that is the hardest thing ever. Being a mom is the most incredible, rewarding thing. But it is the fucking hardest thing on the planet. I'm not gonna lie, there's absolutely moments, because we practice like gentle parenting, conscious parenting, and if you're somebody who's on here and doesn't understand what that is, gentle parenting and conscious parenting is not permissive parenting. It's not the same as like, oh, my daughter literally gets everything she asks me for, because that's not what it is. And obviously Emmett's too little. So when there's days where I lose my shit, I'm human, just like anybody else. Like, there's days where I lose my shit and then I feel really bad because mom guilt is the thing. There's days where I've cried at the end of the day. Like, I'm still human. There's days where I tell my husband, like, I'm touched the fuck out. Like, it's normal. However, I reshift and I instantly think of, my babies aren't going to be babies forever. They will always be my babies, but they're not going to be baby babies. So I really try to shift to a place of, I am so, so grateful for them, and the happy moments and the snuggles and the sweet things and the bedtime stories and the chaos and the stepping on fucking Legos, because all of those little tiny moments I'm going to miss in my future. So I try to really stay positive that way. And then if I do have a blow up and I like snap at Harper or I yell at her and I try not to, I go back and I own that shit. That's on me. I go back and I apologize. I think many times we think that just because they're kids and we can tell them what to do and da-da, expect them not to question that. Whereas an adult, we would question that if somebody spoke to us that way. If somebody yelled at us, we would yell back. So we have a lot of really high expectations for how children should react and respond to things. And it's even hard as an adult to regulate your feelings and emotions and the way that you respond and react. So expecting a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or 5, whatever year old to do the same is hard. Same thing with spanking. You wouldn't walk up to somebody on the street and hit them. That's fucking assault. Probably totally unpopular opinion, but like, I do not spank my children and I never will. So, you know, I would expect if somebody came up to me and didn't like what I had to say, if they hit me, that's a problem. So, and I would be like, why didn't you come talk to me? So it's no different than with my kids. So when I fuck up with my kids and I yell at my kid, I go back in once she's calmed down, once I'm calmed down, because she is very much like me. We both are like explosive, and then like we both need that space to like decompress. I go back in, I apologize for my actions, and I explain why I was frustrated, because it's not fair for me to put my emotions on her. And she understands, and then we hug it out and we do something fun and bond together. And I use it as a teaching moment, because I am human. I have big feelings just like she has big feelings. Big Little Feelings has been my saving fucking grace for parenting. They're, of course, amazing. Okay. What's your favorite mindset book? Oh, Lord have mercy. I have so many favorite books that I don't know. Favorite mindset book? I Like You Are a Badass at Making Money. I Am That Girl is fucking amazing. The Secret and the Power is good. I actually preferred The Power over The Secret. Atomic Habits is really good. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is amazing. I have a lot of favorite books. You'd have to kind of ask me like on what exact topic, because I'm a huge bookworm, like for sure. Okay, next question. What do you do if you hate your job and you want to build your passion business, but you can't leave your job because of money? Okay, so if you can't leave your job because of money, and it's absolutely not an option right now, this is going to sound crazy, and I tell my husband this all the time. My husband is like a senior automation engineer, so he's like a super geek. Sorry, dude. Just as he walked downstairs from putting Harper to bed. And he works with some of the coolest people, and he actually loves the people he works with. So, but you have to, even on the days where you have like the shitty days, like have gratitude, like appreciate where you're at, because you are where you are for a reason. You're exactly where you're meant to be right in this time. And it may be that you have to start putting more intention towards your passion business. Start talking about it more. Start journaling about it. Start taking inspired action with those things, whatever it is. Start doing little things on the side. Build it up on the side to start with, and then leave your job. If it's absolutely not something where you can take the risk, don't, because I'm not going to give somebody like shitty advice. But if you are somebody who can, and you can jump in with both fucking feet, do it. Like, we are on this planet for such a fucking short time. So, but again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you to quit your job. That's up to you. But if like that job is killing your mental health, then like also talk to somebody, because it's really important to make sure that you are in a place where you're okay. Okay, difference between coaching and therapy. I posted a little bit of a slide on this because somebody asked, and I think it's really important. Therapy and coaching are not the same thing. So therapy, a lot of times you rehash your past and you go through your triggers, or you go through traumatic things that happened to you, or you talk about what is bothering you, whether it's anxiety, depression, whatever, all of those things, any other type of mental health situation. Coaching is not that. While some of the topics can overlap, like talking about instances or experiences that you've had, we don't rehash the past over and over again. We talk about something and we move forward to your future. It's very future focused. However, if someone is challenged and having a hard time with depression, anxiety, anything that is actually like mental health related, while some of the techniques can be beneficial, I 100% think that therapy is important. I will not ever coach somebody that I think needs more help from me, from what I can give them, that is outside of my scope of expertise. If I think it's inappropriate for me to coach somebody, I will refer them out. I have no problem doing that, because somebody's mental health is more important than me making $1. If that makes sense. Your mental health is more important than anything. Your life, I will not ever gamble with somebody's life. I will not play that game. Will I work in conjunction with a therapist, with you? Yes, as long as your therapist is on board. But they're not the same thing, and there are things that a coach should not be handling. Like, I'm not going to give you a diagnosis. I'm not going to do those things. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. So they are different. That being said, like, if you have a topic and you want to talk about it, I'm down with that, but we have to just figure out where the boundaries are with things and what it is. Every topic's going to be different. It's going to be very individualized to each person and each client. What if you have an unsupportive spouse? In which respect? If you have an unsupportive spouse about like literally everything and they're just like a negative person, I don't think you need permission to be any type of way other than who you are and what you are. If you want to go after your dreams and the person you are with is unsupportive, I think you need to have a real come to Jesus moment with yourself and with that person. Think about the big picture of things. I have had the most supportive husband in like through our entire relationship. So I've not personally experienced this, but I do not think you should ever shrink yourself and drain your cup and continue to pour from an empty cup, because you cannot show up in your life for the people that you truly love and show up as a person that you are truly proud of if you are running on E and not filling your own cup. It is okay to be selfish. Hi, Renee. It's okay to be selfish. It's actually good to be selfish sometimes. You have to look at yourself and tell yourself that you're worthy with or without this person. If this person is going to shrink you down and make you feel small, no ma'am. No, we don't fuck around with that. That is like a no thank you. So I think that, I'm not saying end your relationship, but I'm saying have a real conversation about why this person is being unsupportive. What about what you want scares them? Are they afraid of you leaving them behind if you grow? Because it's a conversation that has to happen. It's more than just one person just saying, no, I don't want to deal with anything that you want to do or dream or whatever. Figure out why they're unsupportive and then go from there. But fill your cup. It's okay to be selfish. I'm giving you permission to be selfish, and I'm telling you that you need to take back that power because you need to do things for you. Next question. How are you so confident? Thank you. I'm not always confident. I'm not always confident. I haven't always been confident. I was bullied in school. I was called a bitch because then I started sticking up for myself. I'm not always confident. Hi Amy. I have limiting beliefs just like anybody else. I'm human. How I've bounced back from things now is a lot different and more quick because I'm in a different place in my journey. And my mindset has changed so much that I show up differently because I'm at this place in my life now where I truly I don't care what people think about me. I love myself and I'm okay with who I am. I'm happy with who I am, and that's what matters to me. There's something I saw earlier, and I wanted to read this quick. Okay, every single one of us has boldness and bravery inside of ourselves. You will not ever realize your dreams if you allow others to make choices for you. So get comfortable with trusting even the smallest decisions that you make. Trust your intuition. Time goes by anyway. The more you keep promises to yourself and the more that you show up as you are, that is where the magic happens. Taking baby steps every single day and building that confidence and trusting yourself and trusting your gut and trusting your intuition, that's going to build your confidence. Being the person that you want to show up as and the person that you truly are at your core and in your heart, that builds confidence. Not worrying so much about what people have to say about you builds confidence. Do you see where I'm going with that? Okay, let's see. Next question. There's another question that says, what do you do if you hate your job but can't quit? So same answer as before. How do I deal with negativity? I answered that earlier. Pretty much just shift things. What made you want to look at money mindset specifically? So money mindset is where hi Chrissy, is where I really needed to look at things because I was in horrible financial situations and I swear I could write a fucking book. Maybe I will one day, who knows? But like I said, bankruptcy, foreclosure, repos, all the fucking things that you can think of. I've been there, I've done that. So for me, rebuilding my money mindset and learning to rebuild my trust with myself revolving around money and realizing that I was following some patterns of things that had happened in my life or with people that I cared about in my life when it revolved around money and like beliefs that I had because people taught me certain things about money. I needed to change that for myself and for my family. And I needed to start believing that there was more out there than where I was at that time and having faith in those moments, because without that faith, I would have never picked myself back up to keep going. So having faith when something looks absolutely fucking impossible is so important, whether it's faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in the universe, whatever it is for you. Having that faith that you were put on this planet to do more than just get better, and that there had to be more to life than where I was at, and I was not giving up on that. And I don't think anybody else should, because every single person has that potential deep inside of them, and we all have that fire. And we all have that fire, and if we put that fire out, then what are you left with? You are left with dust and ash and smoke. But if you nurture it and you build upon it, it spreads, it grows. So for me, it was so important to know that while like I was in this horrible place financially, that I could pick myself back up. I could improve my life. I could change my life. I could change the path that I was on, and that the universe would guide me in the right direction, and I truly trust that, then things would be okay. And that gave me the hope that I needed, and learning more about it is what gave me the direction. And like, I'm still rebuilding my life from those past decisions, and that's okay. Like, there's no such thing as perfection, and everybody's at different points in their journey. But like, for me, that was point like negative 725. So where I was then and where I'm at now when it comes to financial mindset is wildly different. I have a massive abundance mindset now versus before. I like chokeholded my money because I was so afraid of it running out. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, and there was more month at the end of my month. Like, all this stupid shit that you hear, like, that was where I was, and that's like my own personal hell that I was living, and I wouldn't wish anybody to be back there. Hi, Holly. So yeah, so that's where the whole money mindset thing came from. Okay, so what types of coaching do you offer privately? He's 5 months old today. Oh my God, where's the time going? And now that Harper's like in school 2 days a week, and then next year she's gonna be in school Monday through Friday, and I'm not ready for it. But hi, Allie. So with that, I'm gonna be doing a couple different things, and I'm really fucking excited to talk about them. So I'm excited that somebody asked. Okay, so the question specifically was, what types of coaching do you offer privately? So I'm going to offer one-on-one coaching, and there's a couple different ways we can do that. And then I'm also in the process of creating my first digital course, which is going to be helping people go from scarcity to abundance, because it's such a big part of my life and where I was needing the most assistance and where I had the most blocks and where I want to help people. And I'm sure it's going to be the first of many things, because I just lately, like, my soul has been on fire, and I'm so excited. And I like I said, we all have that fire within us, and like learning how to harness it versus like unleashing it is like the coolest fucking thing, and stepping into that is amazing. And I want so many other people to experience that. I want so many people to feel like they're stepping into their purpose and their power, and with such fucking conviction that like they are ready to just take that inspired action to change their life. So working on my course, which I'm like almost done with. I'm just fine-tuning some things, and I need to actually like sit down and record it, but all my other stuff is done. So I'm excited. So that's what's going to be about that. But then I am offering one-on-one coaching. So with that, I would have you set up like a 15-minute discovery call. That's complimentary. There's no charge to the discovery call. We would hop on Zoom. I would have you fill out an intake form before we hop on that call. It's going to ask you some questions. You're going to answer them. It's going to come back to me. I'm going to look at it before we hop on our call. We'll talk. That's not a coaching call. It's so that you can kind of get a feel for how our conversation is going to go, so that I can get a feel for you, so that I can help. Hi, Erica. And so when we hop on that call, it's going to basically to make sure that we're like a good fit, and that you feel comfortable with me, and that I can make sure that I can offer you the best that I can offer you. So with that, then after that, you decide what type of coaching package you want to do with me. With that, we have, like I said, they're going to be one-on-one calls. It's not group coaching. It's specific, just you and me together in a Zoom. Everything is, confidential. Anything you say to me, it's in that container of space. I'm holding space for you. There's no judgment. Come as you are. Low battery on my phone. So it's 100% a safe space for you. You are a whole person. You are not broken. And like I said, anything you say to me is confidential. So with that, it's going to be an open conversation, like in your first, in our first session. It's going to be open conversation. We're going to define what your purpose and your intention is, having focus. We're going to define what the topic you're looking for help on is, what you're looking at walking away from this with. What does success around that feel like for you? What kind of outcomes are you looking for to help you get empowered and trusting yourself? Like, get down to your feelings and your thoughts and where those are coming from, and letting go of that ego, and really just like getting raw and real with yourself and honest with yourself. It's entirely client-centered. Like I said, you're a whole capable person. You have the answers, you have the wisdom, like literally everything you possibly need. You are put on this earth for a reason. all of that is within yourself, but I'm just here to kind of like pull that greatness out of you and help you activate that future self that you are looking for. And then after that, we're going to determine a couple steps to move forward, actionable steps, so that you can, take that inspired action that I was talking about and really like move forward in the direction you want to. It's going to help give you the confidence to manifest what you want in your life. It's going to give you the confidence to take charge of your life. Finding the root cause of like where some of your limiting beliefs are, and working on rewiring those thoughts and creating new neural pathways, because that's actually how it works, is when you are consistently retraining your subconscious and your conscious mind, you are rewiring those neural pathways and creating new ones, and it's fucking incredible. The brain is like, neuroscience is the coolest thing ever. So yeah, basically that, and then, helping you have that self-awareness. Anything in your life where you've had like a victim mentality, we're going to help you shift that, not to make you feel guilty or anything like that. That's not what it's about. But shifting it into a way where you are taking your power back. Like, taking your power back, feeling like a badass, and how to set boundaries in certain areas where you need them if you need to, so that you have like a supportive, empowering environment, helping you go from that scarcity to abundance, helping you rewire those stories and shit that you're telling yourself so that you can view it differently. No, sir. My cat is like about to walk right in front of the thing. To show you that you're more powerful than you ever could realize, and like, you are amazing. So that's what each thing is going to be. Each session is 60 minutes. You can, like I said, do a 15-minute discovery call. The link is in my bio for that. And then we have options. You could do like a single session and see how it goes, or you could do a 3-month package. You could do or you could do a year-long package with me. So there's multiple options for every type of person. There are payment plans available. There's different things. We rework things. We have a coaching agreement that we work through together. And again, it is a safe container for you to be authentically you, unapologetically, while working towards that future self that you envision for yourself. It's not about me. It's not about anybody else other than you, and that is why I'm so excited to do this. So if you have questions about that, feel free to message me privately and we can talk. Or, like I said, you can click on the link in my bio, and it'll take you to like Calendly, I think is how you say it, and it'll set up like that 15-minute call for you, and that's free. And then we go from there, and then we choose how you want to work forward after that first call, and it'll be a good time. So I think those were everything. Let me pull up my note. I think that was like everything I copy and pasted and took screenshots of. I think that's everything. So does anybody in the comments have any questions for me now? Because if not, you can always, like I said, you can message me and we can chat. There's no pressure to sign up for any of these things either, but those are the options that are going to be available, and I'm excited that I'm officially open for that now that I have like all my business stuff in place, because I wanted to make sure that all of that was set up properly too. So but if nobody has anything else, I'm probably going to hop off now, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night. And it was really fun talking about things and answering people's questions. It's something I'm really, really passionate about, and I'm just excited because I'm excited for the growth that's going to happen, not only just in myself, but in the people that I get to work with. And I think that's probably the most exciting thing, is seeing somebody's like character arc, and seeing somebody's life shift like right in front of your eyes. And I think it's a pretty wonderful thing, and it's an honor to be able to experience that with people. So I hope everybody has a good night, and I will talk to you soon.